Welcome to Video Day Project Week. I am making a quilt holder upper. I don't know what you call it. This goes up onto the wall, and then you have arms that come out and swing like this that holds the quilts. So I've got the basic wood down to the size that I need. Came from a piece like this. This was actually 12 foot long, and I got exactly what I needed out of it. You can see how messed up the end of it was, and you can see how much I had to take off to get it down to the right size, the right thickness without any issues. This one came out of a camp like this. However, this is not oak. I started this, but as I got into it, it looks like hickory to me. So anyway, the oak came from, a camp like that. So I've got my forearms, and I'm ready to start shaping and measuring and sizing. Once I get always cut one extra of something just in case I screw something up, which I probably will. So I'll have an extra one just in case, or not just in case, when I mess one of these up, I'll have an extra. So there you go. It's gonna be pretty cool. So getting on to measuring and shaping. Continuing with the quilt rack. What I'm doing now is I'm tapering the arms that hang out. This will hang out like this. The quilt will tape will drop over the top of this. So this is how I make the legs for tables, and I curved the legs on the tables that I make. I have a tapering jig, and it's adjustable with this little screw up here, and you can get whatever angle that you want. This did have a knob on it that you twist, but it failed, so I have to make another one. So temporarily I just put a screw in there to hold the angle that I need, and it's got a little stop in the back there, and I'll run one through and I'll show you how I can taper it. So I've already cut one. I've already got it set up. I've already got my boards marked so I don't cut the wrong side off. So there we go. Let's do it. All right. This is the one that just came off the jig. Right here, it's tapered. We've got two of them made, and they'll be the same exact size. They're perfect. This part is flat. That's the part that goes in the hinge that's going to swivel. So got two more of these to cut while the jig is set up, and then we can clean them. And I got to drill my hole. I didn't have to drill my hole first because I could reference off this portion here is flat. So when I drill my hole on the drill press for the hinge, I can reference off that flat surface, and it'll still be the same. So there we go. Cut two more. I've cut everything the length. I've rounded the corners on the base part. Also cut and tapered and rounded the corners on the part that actually holds the quilt. I still have to chamfer the end so there's not a sharp end on there. And I'm probably going to stain it. This is the axe that I've done. If you've been following the axe one, I'll follow up on the axe. I'm still working on this. I stained this axe, and it still needs more coat of clear on there so to protect it. But look at the color of this and the color of this. This is teak oil, boiled linseed oil on my mallet. So that's the color that you'll get from a boiled linseed oil look. This is a stain, and I forget what it is. I have to look on the bottle. But anyway, the staining might look really good on this. Everything's almost complete. The brackets, I think I'm going to make a little bit thicker than this. I just don't trust the thinness of this. It's just, if there's too much weight or someone hangs on this, it's going to pop that off. It'll break the grain. So I may make that a little bit thicker for a little bit more security. Look a little bit bulky. I'll round it, round the corners, and then put a round on it like this, and then chamfer everything so it'll look, give a little bit better of a look. The quilt rack is completely finished being built. It is just dry fit together. Everything seems to work on it. It still needs to be sanded and all that. The finishing touches need to be done. Haven't put in the bolts on here yet, the nuts. I've got nylon nuts so they won't come loose. It just needs to be, all this stuff needs to be cleaned up and sanded and all that from construction. But it is complete. Dry fit seems to work just fine. And we're ready to go for the last part of this, which will be final sanding, staining, let that dry, then clear coat. So it's done today. construction is done today. The whole thing should be done next 2 days or so. May take a minute to do that. Depends on the weather, really, to see if, you know, how the humidity is, see if the clear and the stain will dry. There you go, 100% done construction, and we'll be done with everything else in the next few days. The cloak rack. The quilt rack is finished, and I just put a moving blanket up here, and holds it just fine. Bars move best they can. It's not completely cured. It's dry enough to touch. So I went ahead and assembled it, attached it back to that big old giant 6x8 cedar that's going down to the church. And there we go, it's ready for delivery. So super excited. It is complete.